This
assets at the
conference
same
will
time.
now be recorded.
How to interface with your activities.
Sorry, who
Interface
is
with
this?
the system.
I cannot hear that.
Interface with
Sheikh
the asset.
Manohar, I cannot hear you. Shikala, what is the next
The
step? I have generated my
interf-
asset lines.
mm,
Come on,
we need to interface, sir.
correct, right? So we have to transfer these asset lines to the fixed assets. So here we are having a job. I think in e-business suite you are having a PRC interface asset lines to fixed assets. Is that the job? Or the concurrent program?
Hello.
Yes, Manohar.
PRC interface asset lines with Oracle assets.
Mm. Okay, now here within the asset work area, if you click on the task list again, you can see transfer assets to Oracle Fusion assets, right? So just click on this link at the task, then it will open a job. You have to feed some values to the parameters like for which business unit you want to run this. And my project is Bank CP, right? And again, we are having placed in service through date. I think our asset actual in service date is earlier to that, right? It's in January 1st, 2021. So which is good. So guys, remember the jobs names what we are running and remember the important parameters what I'm talking about, right? In interview that helps you a lot. The jobs you are running, their names and the parameters of each job, important parameters or the mandatory parameters, right?
Okay.
So click on submit. Okay, let's see the status from the OU page within the asset work area. If you scroll down, you can see the process monitor section, right? So instead of going to the scheduled processes, I can see the job status from within the overview page of assets. Okay, it got succeeded. Let's have a look on output, whether we have transferred the asset lines to FA successfully or not. Yes, which is good, right? So we have transferred the asset lines to the FA, which is good. Now, what is the next step?
We need to switch to assets.
Yeah, now fixed asset users come into the picture, right? So even like in real time, doing these like generating the asset lines, sometimes even the fixed asset users also do that because one of our client, in their business, all the fixed asset users try to do all these kind of, creating assets and generating the asset lines, transferring to the FA. These activities they are carrying out, I mean, by the fixed asset users. Okay, only for the capital projects. They don't bother about the other projects like expense projects or indirect projects, right? So let's move to the fixed assets and go to the assets work area where you can able to see all the waiting asset lines here. So click on incomplete. I think we have to provide, this is our line, which is with the asset number 1000, which is good. So click on the hyperlink of the description. I think still we have to provide the required information here. Let's see. Uh, Come on. Even last time also we faced the same issue actually. So let's skip this part. Like once the user come here into the assets, he will select the appropriate line, and that should be under ready to post. That means there is no information pending. Everything is ready. And if you go to the ready to post, you can highlight the line, and again you can click on post all. Then the asset will get created within the fixed assets. And before that, make sure that you are under correct asset book. Of course, if you are in the correct asset book, then only you can able to see your respective asset lines here, or assets here, right? So we'll go back to our projects, assets, work area, and then again go back to the task list, and we can see one more job called update asset information from Oracle Fusion Assets. So this is like a tieback process what you run in a business unit, right guys?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
Anna.
So total we are doing three jobs here: generate asset lines, transfer assets to Oracle Fusion Assets, update assets information from Oracle Fusion Assets. And before this, we are running create accounting job as well, right?
Yes.
And before that, we ran import cost job. So I think these are all the five jobs which are involved in the process, right? Import cost, create accounting, generate asset lines, transfer assets to Oracle Fusion Assets, update asset information from Oracle Fusion Assets. Okay, let's assume that we have successfully created asset in fixed assets, and now I have given this scenario earlier to all of you, right? Like I want to reverse the entire calculation process. Okay, so let's pick my project here. Go to the manage capital assets. My asset cost is 0. Okay, no problem. So once you highlight the asset here, go to the actions and then click on reverse capitalized asset. So in that case, application will try to create asset lines with the negative amounts. Okay, and again you have to transfer them to FA, where you are going to nullify your asset cost within the Oracle Fusion fixed assets module. Okay, so that is about the capital project life cycle, and you have to try with all the different options what we are having within the project type. Did you start working on it, guys?
No, I have a doubt, Anna.
Yes, please.
Now, where can we do capital events?
Capital events you can do even from here. Go to the manage capital projects. You can do, or you can create events using manage capital events. We'll do that in a separate session. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. These are all okay. Fine. Let's move to the topic called FBDIs. What is that?
FBDI.
FBDI.
Let me open my document.
Sir,
Yes, Manohar.
before going to the FBDI, can you please re-explain about how to enter a cost,
Where?
the manage unprocessed cost?
We have done yesterday, right? Didn't you
Yes, sir.
refer
But
the
yeah,
session?
I referred, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, we discussed about from third party, right, sir?
Correct.
I want to just to enter like pre-approved batches within the PA. So in that
Mhm.
case, the document should be the import raw cost checkbox should be enabled, right, sir? If I want to do that in PA itself,
Mhm.
that I am asking, sir, is that correct way to enter a transaction within the PA, like pre-approved batches?
Even we can also try without, I mean, for labor cost, uh, even though your import raw cost amounts checkbox unchecked, you can calculate that using your rate schedules within the PA. Did you try that?
No, sir, I tried, but while creating the new expenditure batch, that
Mm-hmm.
list of values is not picking for business unit, sir. This is the reason I haven't um, moved forward.
Did you give data access to your
Yeah,
project
yeah, sir.
accounting role?
Project accounting. Project account. I have given, sir.
Then you should able to see the business unit. Let me show you that.
Sir.
What about Rakesh? Did you try that? I mean, are you able to see the ledger details within the create accounting?
I mean, when you came, I told you the problem. I mean, I can't able to see later, but after that, I have added role implementation, application implementation consultant. After that, I am able to see the total department and organization trees options, which I am not seen before. So
Mm-hmm.
I created departments and organization trees until that it's fine. Due to the delay in application, yesterday I was only able to do that organization structure, sir.
Okay, fine. Where are we here? Users and security. And then go to the task list. Did you give data access for business unit and ledger to your role and username combination?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Then you should be able to see your business unit. Recheck once again. Did you
Okay.
check with other guys as well
No,
on
sir.
this issue?
Even the Ravi also getting the same issue, sir. He is not getting the project type while creating the project template.
Okay. Are
on
you
the
selecting the common set or any other different
yeah
set while creating?
no only we used common set, sir.
Okay.
And also when try to give a data access for project creator, it
Mm-hmm.
is not showing in the results, but it is showing that the combination is already exist, like that it's showing.
Okay. If most of you guys getting the same issue, then we can get into that. What about the rest of the team? Are you also facing the same issue? Guys, did you try or yet you have to try?
I have to try it on again. I'm yet to try, sir. I did not try it.
Mm-hmm. If the application is fast enough, then we can see here itself. If not, again, it will definitely consume a lot of time, Manohar. Is that application fast?
Sir, I'm checking right now what you have told me right now. One, just give me 5 seconds, sir. It will get over.
Okay. Hmm, fine. So we have seen this, and we have to see this. And in future, we'll also see this. Okay. So we'll continue with our
Huh?
things.
అదేనా డేటా యాక్సెస్ ప్రాబ్లమ్.
What's going on?
Discussing about Manohara.
Okay,
అదే సార్
we'll keep it.
we can start, sir. We will.
We can keep it aside. You check that. If you don't find, I mean, if this issue still exists, pass that link and username, I mean, credentials to me. I will take a look on it. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir.
So let's talk about FBDIs, right? Some people will say in the interview like FBIs. We are not FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. So some people they'll say that FBIs, right? So it is FBDI, file-based data import. Okay. So before getting into that, let's talk about few things what we do within the e-business suite. If you want to do conversions, right? How you used to do conversions within the e-business suite, guys?
No, we haven't done any conversions yet. We use application programming interface.
But I hope I explained you about the whole conversion process, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, conversion process we know, but I mean,
That's what I'm
how,
talking about. How we do
yeah.
conversion within the e-business suite.
If you have any open invoices, maybe we can fill out all the open invoices. Any open projects, we can fill out the open projects. Accordingly, we can prepare the conversion templates, either Informatica or the Oracle conversion templates.
So within the e-business suite, if you want to do conversions, who else are involved there? Like along with the
Technical,
along with the
the
functional
users and
team.
technical consultants, along with
Hmm. So
along with
users are common here, and again along with the technical, I mean functional team, we need I mean, along with the functional team, we need technical team, right? Without the help of technical team, can we able to complete or perform conversions?
No,
No, right? But
Yes, sir.
when it comes to the fusion, we don't require any technical consultant for doing conversion activities. And those conversions are done by the functional team or the functional consultant itself. So you should aware about how we do conversions within the fusion. That is very, very important, right? And even in the interview also they will ask you whether did you work on conversions or not. That is a mandatory question because usually all the conversion activities will be done by the junior level team, like uh, below 5 years or 6 years experience guys. They will be assigned to those kind of works actually instead of facing the client. You know, so you should aware about the conversion process within the fusion. So let's go to the FBDI. So this is our FBDI. File-based data import. That means we are importing the data using a file. So file-based data import. Okay. So it is an Excel-based document where we are going to create CSV file or a comma separated value file, right? So this CSV file contains the data or the records. For example, we are importing the cost from legacy system to the Oracle Fusion projects. Okay, so in that case, I'm having 10,000 transactions. So we use this Excel based document and we'll populate this document with the data, and then we'll try to generate CSV file, right? And then from there again we'll take it forward using that CSV file. And coming to the volume of the data, yes, this FBDI is very suitable for very high volume of data conversions. Remember, these are all very, very important. What are the points we are talking about? These are really important. If you deliver these points when you're talking about FBDI, that is more than enough. Okay, so FBDIs are very much suitable for handling high data conversion process or high data conversions, right? And coming to the validation, so as I said, we are going to like enter the data within the Excel document, right? So while importing the data from Excel into the application, there is no validation. Application won't perform any kind of validation. Once the data parked in the interface table, and then once we start running one more job, which is like import culture, then it will conduct all kinds of validations, and then if anything is invalid or not available, then it will just put it in the error section, right? So validation will happen at the time of running import cast job. Okay guys, and then in order to use the Excel based document, we don't require any kind of plugins. Okay, so we can directly use FBDI documents. Now, so we know the high level information about FBDI, right? Now we have to know what are the available FBDIs, right? So the list of FBDIs, that is important. And even you have to remember out of 100%, you have to remember at least 60% of FBDIs list, right? Minimum 60. And I'll tell you what are the important FBDIs that you have to remember. Okay, so we have to know the list of FBDIs, and the source, how you're going to access those Excel based documents or the FBDI documents, right? So that is also very important. That's like navigation to access the FBDIs. Okay, so now let's see how we are going to access the available FBDI documents. Okay, so let's go back to the browser and then enter docs.oracle.com. Remember this link or the URL. It's docs.oracle.com. Okay, this is very important link for us throughout your functional consultant career. You used to refer this link very oftenly. Okay, so you have to do friendship with this link or the web page, right, guys?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Okay.
Okay, sir.
It's a long-term friendship with this URL. So once you click on the cloud applications, then under ERP, which is Enterprise Resource Planning, you can click on Project Management. Once you click on Project Management, you can see the version here, right? So currently we are in 21C version. Like maybe very soon we are also going into the 21D. So if you want to change the version, you can change the version. You can go back to the earlier versions as well. But currently we are in 21C version. And then on your left hand side, you can see multiple options like schemas, videos, all books. So if you want to gain more knowledge, right, on fusion concepts, you can use these sources. Like you can go to the all books and you can read more about the topics what we have seen already, right? Which is absolutely free for everyone. No need to log in into this, so you can directly get an access to this area. If you click on all books, you can get, like, let's go into this. Then you can go to the implementation part. So if you want to learn more about project financial management, you can click here, right? And again, if you want to know about FBDIs, you can click here. So these are all the different areas where you want to where you can explore and get more information out of this. Okay, but now our area of interest is integrate option. So under integrate, you can able to see get started with file based data input, right, which is under manage integrations. So when you click on this, you can able to see all the available FBDIs segregated by the functional areas. So if you expand project costing, what are the FBDIs? And project foundation, let's expand from the beginning. Under project billing, contracts and revenue, we have one FBDI called import project billing events, right? So we don't have FBDI in order to import invoices or revenues directly into the Oracle Fusion projects. Remember, this is also very frequently asked question, right? Do we have an FBDI for creating or importing invoices and revenue, right, guys? So most of the guys or most of the the candidates, they used to say yes, we do have FBDI for creating invoices and revenue, but in real we don't have any FBDIs for invoices and revenue. But how you are going to create them? Using import project billing events. where you are going to import events, the events related to the invoices and events related to the revenue, right? Once you import them, based on that, you are going to run the jobs. That's it. Generate invoice job, generate revenue job. That's it. So we don't have direct FBDIs to create invoices and revenue. Make a note. This is very, very important for you. And then coming to the project control, we have FBDIs for importing the budgets, like budget conversion, right? That's what we talk about. And for you can also do conversions on project forecast and project plan. So don't bother about this, but mainly remember these two things under project control: project forecast, project budgets, right? And let's move to the next section: project costing. So under this, we have FBDIs for various transactions like payroll cost, expense cost, inventory cost, labor cost, miscellaneous, non-labor suppliers, right? So mostly you try to remember all this, like all the cost, okay? And then again we have FBDI on transaction controls as well, and then importing unassigned asset lines, and then assigning the assets, importing the assets and also assigning the assets. So that process also, like for that activity also we have a BDI. So this activity we have done manually, right? Creating the asset and then assigning the asset to the either project or task level. But let's assume you are having maybe 200 or 300 assets, right? So in that case, uh, doing that activity manually will consume your lot of time, right? So instead you can make use of this ABDI in order to create assets and assigning the assets to the respective level, either project or task. And if you move back to the, next to the section which is project foundation, we have ABDI for importing projects, that is project conversion, and we have BDA for project tasks, right? Why do we have separate BDA for project tasks? We can cover that using import projects BDI, but let's think that already client is in using the application and he's having maybe 100 projects, right? And he want to add a new structure or the new tasks into their respective projects. Maybe they want to add 5 tasks into each project. So they are having maybe 200 projects. So adding all those 5 tasks into each project, and where we are having total 200 projects, it is also a time consuming activity, right? So in that case you can directly opt this import project tasks ABDI, where you can directly create tasks into all those 200 projects, but saying that the mandatory thing here is like the project should get existed into the in the application already, because we are not creating projects here, we are just creating tasks on the existing projects. Remember, that is the difference between import projects and then import project tasks. And even you can also do conversion on resource breakdown structure as well, right? Okay, so these are all the important things that you have to remember, and we are not much focusing on resource management and project management BDIs. Okay, so you have to focus mainly on project foundation, and we have one more BDI called import project rate schedules and overrides, right? So if you want, this is like a rate schedule conversion again. So if you want to create rate schedules, then you can use FBDI for them as well. Remember. So all the FBDIs which are under project foundation are important, and you have to remember. And within here, try to remember all the cost FBDIs, and if you can try to focus on transaction controls, asset and asset assignments, right? And then project budgets and forecast, import project billing events. These are very important. So let's click any one of the FBDI here. Import project labor cost. So if you click on this hyperlink on your right hand side, you can see a few details here like XLSM template. So this is your FBDI template, right? So if you click on it, you can download an Excel document. So let's open this and see the different tabs available in this document. And for this doc Excel, we don't require any plugins or add-ins. Okay, so expand this. So within this FBDI template, you can able to see two tabs. One is instructions tab and the other one is interface stage all tab. So in the second tab, you are going to populate the data like transaction type. For labor cost, it is always labor. For miscellaneous cost, it is always miscellaneous, right? For non-labor, and then what is the other? Maybe inventory, right? So these are all the standard or static transaction type names, right? And you can able to come to know about these values under control files section. So if you click on this control file, you can able to see one CTL file. I think we have already discussed about control file or the CTL file, right guys?
No, no.
No? What about the rest? Did we discuss about or did we talk about control file or not?
No, no.
I mean, when we discussed about data conversion, you talked about control files which were created by technical people, but we don't know exactly what is control file.
I'm not talking about this specific file, but I'm talking about the generic control file. Did we talk
You
about
just
control
introduced
file?
the
You
yeah, you
said
just
that
introduced the term
control
while
file is
discussing data conversion. You just introduced us to the control file which will be created by the technical people. That's what that's
Yeah, that is what I'm referring here, right?
the type of data
So
conversion.
when you see in the fusion, technical team are not required, and who is going to create this control file? No one. Already the application or the Oracle has already given control file for us, right? So this is the first dependency with the technical team, right? So we don't need any technical team because already Oracle has provided the control file for the respective conversion, right? So I can simply open this control file. Now I can see different sections. So first we'll see on the first part, which is load data into the table. This is my interface table. And when I say transaction type, this is for labor transactions. You can use this value under transaction type within the FBDI, like here. If you see the other side, so again for non-labor transactions, we need to enter non-labor, and for miscellaneous transactions, your transaction type value is miscellaneous. So using this, see, even here transaction type is miscellaneous, it's a constant, right? So you can easily get the transaction type values from the control file. So even if you scroll down, you can see the remaining transactions. Like for supplied invoices, the transaction type is always supplier, right? So apart from that, you can able to see all the remaining columns which are available within the FBDI template, right? I think even I have discussed about this, like control in the control file. Mainly they'll focus on the order in which we want to capture the data, right? So this file should match with the template or the conversion file or the conversion template data file, right? But in Fusion, we don't need to bother about this. That is entirely taken care by the Oracle. Okay. So that is about the transaction type. And again, you have to provide the remaining details like business unit, transaction source, document entry, like all this information. Even while creating the expenditure batch or the pre-approved batch, we have given all this information, right, guys? Transaction source, business unit, document entry, document, expenditure batch name. We have given all this information, right?
Ah,
Sir,
And then if it is labor cost, then you have to provide your person details as well. If it is non-labor transaction, then no need to enter the person details. It's optional. If you want to still enter, yes, you can enter, but it's an optional. And you have to give the project number. IDs, no, don't bother about the IDs and names. Okay. If you populate the number, then that is sufficient. No need to enter the name and the ID. Not only for this, for the rest of the columns as well. Like even for the task number, if you give the task number, that is enough. No need to give the task name also. Okay. And then again, expenditure type, and we don't enter type IDs. Okay, I mean, we don't enter IDs anywhere. Right? And then expenditure organization, quantity, UAM. If you want to enter work type, yes, you can specify the work type as well, whether it is billable or capitalizable. And then original transaction reference, I have showed you, right, this column yesterday within our pre-approved batch or the expenditure batch, right? And then the other important things like expenditure item comments, accounting date, currency code, and the raw cost. If you have enabled import raw cost checkbox within the transaction source, then yes, you have to provide the raw cost as well. But if you don't enable that, then if you just provide the quantity, then we can able to calculate the costs using the rate schedules, right? And then if you have enabled, I mean, if you have selected accounted in source application as raw, then you have to provide your raw cost credit account and then raw cost debit account, right, guys? Because we are importing accounted transactions, right? So you have to provide, you have to feed both credit and debit accounts as well within the template. And again, if you're also importing burden cards, then you have to provide for them as well. And when you have enabled or when you are importing the accounted transactions, remember you have to provide your ledger currency code, which is important, and raw cost and provider currency ledger currency, I mean provider ledger currency. This is also mandatory, even though you don't see asterisk symbol here. But when you enable, when you importing accounted transactions, then yes, these two are mandatory. Without this, you cannot create transactions. Right, guys?
Yes or no?
And again, if you want to capture some additional information at the transaction level, then yes, you can make use of all the attributes here. Okay. Uh, I'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll try to populate the FBDI with the